On this episode, I'm going to outline 4 steps to launching a new tool at your organization that people will actually use. And here's the thing, none of these 4 things have anything to do with a technical skill set or a knowledge of a specific tool architecture. They don't rely on this perfect purchasing process or months of pre-planning. These are 4 steps that can be universally applied as a blueprint for launching any new tool in your business. Okay, that's enough preamble. Let's dive in. Step 1, focus on the why and keep reiterating it over and over again. With any new tool that you're launching, it's important to spend time figuring out and refining what's in it for the users that you're hoping will ultimately adopt and see value in this new tool. For each role that you're expecting to adopt this tool, how are they going to use it? How will it fit into their workflows? Why will it make their lives better by using the tool? Now, just like any sales or marketing message, the more you can refine and clarify this why, the better. Then, once you have it, work this messaging and the list of benefits that you've created into every meeting, every presentation, every conversation you have about this tool and its launch. If you're not sick of hearing yourself list off the benefits of this tool, you are not reiterating the why enough. Put yourself in your internal customer's shoes and ask yourself, what's in it for me? Okay, that's number 1. On to number 2. Step 2, make sure you have buy-in from leadership. Let's assume for a second that you're rolling out a tool to a sales team. Your first and highest leverage audience to convince that this tool is valuable are your sales leaders. That is the group where you can start to test your messaging about the benefits of the tool and start to build a groundswell of support for your launch. Leaders, they can make or break your launch. If they aren't bought in or their team can sense that they don't agree with the direction or the why behind your tool, you're toast. Leaders are the ones who can defend or advocate for your tool when you're not there to do it for yourself. They're ultimately going to be responsible for really important things like reinforcement, adherence, and more reinforcement. So spend time with those leaders, taking them through the why behind the tool and outline for them the exact project plan and timeline for the launch. As you start to think about your project plan and your timeline, it's time to move on to step 3. Step 3 is to create a pilot group. Once you got your leaders on board, the next group to identify and bring together around this tool is a pilot group of users. Now, this is the group of folks who are going to be the most important internal customers and users that you've got. First thing you need to do is pick out your pilot users and who they're going to be. Now, it's important to get a variety of perspectives in your group. You just don't only want to pick out those people who are always your early adopters. You want a range of participants that range from different teams, different lengths of tenure at your company, and yes, even those people that always find something wrong no matter what. Then it's time to ask your pilot group to start using the tool and give you feedback. Take their feedback, listen to it, and implement as much of it as possible. Not only is their feedback going to be super valuable and insightful for your launch, but you're also actively building champions of the product for after the launch has taken place. When their peers are ultimately skeptical about your new tool, this pilot group of users will be the ones advocating for its value on your behalf. A sales rep or a customer success manager is way more likely to trust the word of one of their peers than they are somebody else outside of their team. Figure out who in your pilot group can be the champions to other parts of the organization. Okay, that's step 3. On to step 4. Step 4, pick the KPIs to measure the success of your launch and measure them. This last step is an easy one to skip even if you've done a great job on steps 1, 2, and 3. But it's so important. Do not skip this part. Because you've already done such a great job of defining the why behind your launch, picking out the KPIs to measure them should be easy. All of those benefits, all those value adds that you refined for your user group, that's exactly what you should be measuring. Now, are the hypotheses for why you bought this tool coming true? That's what you're doing. Think about it. You spent all this time, money, and effort to buy and implement this tool, it would be such a waste of your own work not to clearly identify how you'll measure success. When you pick out your metrics, make sure that they are something that leadership and your users care about. And then clearly articulate when you're going to come back and measure them. Is it going to be 1 month after launch, 6 months after launch? Figure that out and articulate that to the group. Spending the time defining these metrics now will make it easier later for you to either declare victory or make necessary adjustments after the initial launch. Okay, let's recap. The 4 steps to launching a tool that people will actually use are: step 1, focus on the why and keep reiterating it over and over again. Step 2, make sure you have buy-in from leadership. Step 3, create a pilot group and implement their feedback. And step 4, pick out the KPIs to measure the success of your launch and measure them. None of us wants to have those 747s sitting on the runway with no one around to fly them. Hopefully this blueprint will save all of you some pain and some headaches on some of those failed takeoffs. If you liked what you heard, please make sure you are subscribed to our show so a new episode will show up in your feed every other Friday. Also, if you found these 4 steps helpful or any of the lessons from our episodes helpful, please leave us a 6-star review wherever you get your podcasts. 6-star reviews only. All right. Thanks very much for listening. That's going to do it for me. We'll see you next time.